Alright, hello everyone, Honestance here. So we're going to be looking at Arc Raiders and what is a good loadout to bring in terms of something slightly better than the free loadout, but something that you're not going to be, um, you know, very upset to lose. If you're a solo player and you're just trying to get through and loot and, not get killed by 3 stacks and all that fun stuff, I'm going to show you guys a decent loadout you can do for pretty cheap on the materials. Generally, you will have access to all of these materials early on and later on in higher capacities. So it'll be a loadout that you can use that's slightly better than the free loadout. Obviously, you can run a free loadout if you really need to and upgrade that into an actual looting or combat augment, but without further ado, let's just get into it here. So we're going to go light shield, obviously. If you're newer, that's pretty much all you can do is go light shield. So you'll do a light shield. And then you can do a looting augment or you can do a combat augment depending on what you're trying to do. If you are a solo player, I would probably recommend the looting augment and just being a little bit more cautious with your gameplay so you can get out with more. There are nice people in the game. There are people that won't actually kill you, but you have to be very cautious. So we go light shield, looting augment 1, and then if we go down to weapons here, me personally, I like to go with the Pharaoh 2 and the Kettle 3, and I'll explain why here in a second. So the Pharaoh 2, actually we'll just go ahead and craft a new one so I can show you guys this. So if we craft the Pharaoh, it's just metal parts and rubber parts, super easy, right? And then if we go to the Pharaoh 1 and we do, sorry, not repair, if we do upgrade, upgrading to level 2 is only 7 metal parts, and that'll give you the durability upgrade, which is nice, but not the greatest thing ever. Now you could, depending how far you are, depending what you have material wise, even go to a Pharaoh 3, which will, the big difference here is the 26% reduced reload time versus the 13%. So we'll even do that for example's sake. Once you've clocked a couple hours in the game, simple gun parts are going to be very easy to come by. So we go Pharaoh 3. We get our 26%, basically 1/4 faster reload time on the Pharaoh. And then we go Kettle 3, and I'll also craft this again just so you guys can see here what I'm talking about. So let's go to our workbench. We'll craft a Pharaoh, 6 metal parts as you can see, and 8 rubber parts. Most of you probably know that by now. And then we will do an upgrade on this. So we'll upgrade it to level 2, which again is only 8 metal parts and 10 plastic parts. Most of you guys are going to have that available. Scrappy's going to be doing work on that. And now the main thing here with the Kettle is if you take either the Pharaoh or the Kettle to level 3, I would take the Kettle to level 3. And the reason I say this is the Kettle going to level 3 gets more reduced reload time, increased bullet velocity, and durability all in one upgrade. So we'll take that to 3. So now we're going to take the level 3 Pharaoh off and put the level 2 Pharaoh on. So you've got a level 2 Pharaoh. 13% reduced reload time on that, and then you've got a level 3 Kettle, and you've got increased bullet velocity and 26% reduced reload time. So then we'll go to ammo. Me personally, you guys can feel this out for yourself. Especially if I'm just gonna be solo, or if I'm going with my friends and we're just gonna get some loot or figure out maybe we're farming a certain kind of loot, whatever, I'll do 20 heavy ammo. The Pharaoh is a one-shot gun. It's essentially a musket. There's seldom a situation where you're going to be using 40 whole rounds, so it's best not to bring what you don't want to lose. And then I'll do 100 for the Kettle. That being said, for the Kettle, the reason why I'll bring a full stack is I will put the extended light mag on the Kettle, which puts it up to a 25 magazine size. So With your 100 ammo, you will have 4 mags of the kettle, and you will have 20 shots in the Pharaoh. Now let's go to quick use stuff here, stuff that's easy to make for the most part. Now if you're brand new, some of this stuff may be a little bit less accessible, so I like to do 2 to 3 shield rechargers. 2 if maybe my group is bringing more. If I'm going solo, I might bring 2, I might bring 3, just depending on how lucky I'm feeling, so to speak. So we'll do 2 shield rechargers, 5 bandages, because bandages are very easy to come by. Now, if you're finding that you're going out and you're constantly getting killed, maybe you just haven't figured out the pacing of stuff yet, then you can go a little bit less on the bandages. But I would say 5 is honestly the standard for a very cheap loadout going into it. That's up to you guys. I think 5 is honestly just bringing a whole stack of bandages. They only cost fabric, so you're good. And if you want to, like, in terms of later loadouts, you can go farm Great Mullane in the South Swamp and Dam Battlegrounds to build herbal bandages. Excuse me. That's up to you. And then in terms of an explosive to bring that's just cheap to make, generally reliable, I like to do the light impact grenades. They're easy to make. Let's go take a look at our explosive station, and they cost plastic parts and chemicals. 2 plastic, 3 chemicals per one, so very easy to make. And then if you have a key or something, you can throw that in your safe pocket. But this loadout right here, I have found to be the rich man's free loadout, so to speak. You got the Pharaoh for long range, the Pharaoh 2 specifically. And again, like, if you have the resources, I'd just bring that up to a Pharaoh 3, because as you can see with that, it's double the reduced reload time. That's up to you guys. And then the Kettle 3, which you have the increased bullet velocity and also 26% reduced reload time. The value on this build is around 10,000, so it doesn't feel super bad to lose if you if you're 5+ hours into the game. Most of this you are going to be able to replace almost immediately. Some other things I like to throw out there is, as you're filling up your stash and stuff, really figure out stuff that you don't need or don't utilize. You can sell it or recycle it. Keep your money up. Keep your coins up. It's good to go to those vendors and buy stuff every day. I've got a Renegade in here. I'm going to buy another one tomorrow when my thing resets. But this, I'm getting off on a tangent here. But this loadout right here, Pharaoh 2, best case scenario, Pharaoh 3, Kettle 3 with an extended light mag, 20 heavy ammo, 100 light ammo, 5 bandages, 2 shield rechargers, and light impact grenades. This is just a beefed up free loadout, essentially. You can carry more loot, you have 2 weapons, and it's not incredibly expensive to bring in. So I just figured that I would get on here and share with you guys what I'm running for a slightly better than free loadout, because obviously it's awesome that you can go out with a free loadout and get stuff, but I know some people have wanted to kind of get a build that feels close to a free loadout, but you have a little bit more flexibility in terms of you're carrying 2 weapons, and you have a little bit more reliability with that. And I think the Pharaoh Kettle combo, for those new players and people just trying to get out and loot with a low risk build, this is a great starting build to bring. If you guys have any suggestions or would like to point out what you've been doing for low cost builds, I would love to hear it. But yeah, this is the low cost Arc Raiders build that I've been running, and I found that it actually does pretty well. Now obviously, if you're running into people that are running arpeggios or scope sniper rifles, I can't remember the name of it right now, you may not fare that well. But if you're strapped for materials, you're strapped for coins, this is a great build to just bring out with you. get some loot and get the hell out. So there you guys have it. Thank you for watching. My name is Innocent, and I'll see you guys whenever I decide to make a video again. Have a good day.